Before we get started with things, I want you to go ahead and open up html01.htm. That way we just have a page in here that we can look at. Also, before we get going with actually doing anything on the page, I want to talk a little bit about the Workspace. This program is created by Adobe, same people who've made Photoshop and Flash, so there should be some similar features. Obviously, you have up here in the blue, this is your menu bar, and there are many different tools up here. Remember that in Photoshop and Flash, whenever you lost a panel, you could come here to the window menu and you could find your panel anywhere here. One of the most important things that you have is the ability to view your workspace in a specific way. So somewhere up here in this bar area, you're going to see this drop-down menu. Right now mine says Classic. I'm not sure what yours says the first time you open it, but what I would like you to actually do is go ahead and set it to Classic. Now, just like Photoshop and Flash, you can move panels and stuff around to make things easier for you to find. So I'm going to ask you to find something so that you can move it, and we'll dock it. Now, what I'm going to ask you to move is actually called the Insert panel. So if you come up here and you lose your insert bar, your insert panel, this is what you would open right there. Here it is. It doesn't actually say insert, but it has all of these tabs, and it has the icons for different tools under them: common, layout, forms, etc., etc. Right now I'm going to click on this little dotted line here, and I'm going to click on it. Whoops, and I'm going to click on it again. Or maybe I'm going to click on, my mouse is not cooperating. Okay, well maybe I'll do this. I'm not sure why that's not cooperating. You might have been able to move that yourself. It was not working for me for some reason. However, I was able to drag this part and dock it to the right. So I'd like you to take a minute, grab one or the other so that your common insert bar right here with all these tabs is in the same place as mine is. You can press pause so that you have time to do that. And dock it. Remember, docking it happens when you see the blue highlight. That means that it'll stick there. Okay, so that just stuck underneath. I want it to stick right there. Okay. Now, under the common, obviously it's labeled common because this is where most of your common tools are. From creating a hyperlink to an email to an anchored link, putting in a horizontal rule, a table. You have a div tag, which is one of the things that helps you lay out your table. Image tags, media tags, etc., etc. Now, in the defining the site, I mentioned the Files panel. The Files panel is very important because this is how you manage all of your files. If you need to create a new folder, you can control-click in the white space and scroll. Whoops. You should be able to create a new folder. It's going to there we go. Control-click. Wow, maybe I didn't do it in the right place. There. I just went down too far. And there is new folder. So I could create another new folder and do it there. One of the things about Dreamweaver and your files is if you do decide that you need to rename a file, or if you need to rearrange the hierarchy of the files or put things into folders, you want to do it from here in the Files panel as opposed to doing it from the folder that holds all of your work. Okay? This way, Dreamweaver will update the code that it creates, but if you do it outside of Dreamweaver, it won't. Up here, there are some buttons that have to do with connecting to a server, uploading and downloading files, and seeing both views. Now, another way that you can manage sites or create new or edit a site is right here. So I could click on Manage Sites, and then all of the sites that I have created so far are here, and I could go in and I could edit it and go through that. Now you see that there are several things here that I have already done. I know you don't see them on yours, but on mine I have several things. So I could toggle through them to find the information that I'm looking for. Okay? Down here at the bottom is your Properties panel. Depending on what you have done or selected on your page, your Properties panel is going to look a little bit different. Notice that if I double click and select a word, or actually I guess I can select that whole phrase, I can come down here and I can see under Format, notice that I have all of my headings. Okay. I also have the ability to bold and italicize and make things a bulleted or a numbered list, etc., etc. There's lots of other things here too. Now, up here is our views. We have Code View, which shows us all of the code in our page. And as you can see here, this is exactly what you typed in TextEdit. You can look at Design View. This shows you basically what it will look like in a web browser. And you can edit it from this point too. So I could hit Enter and I could type something else. Here is Split View, which is kind of a nice way to work because oftentimes, as I've said, you're going to have to go into the code and tweak the code. And notice that when I highlight something here, it automatically highlights there in the code as well. If the code view is too small of a font for you, you can go and change the preference up here. Down here at the bottom, you're going to choose fonts. And notice that it gives us 3 different places here. We're looking at the code view, and it's set at Monaco, which is fine. It's the size that we're having trouble with. So you can make it whatever is best for you, but this is the largest that it will go, is 16 point. Typically a 12 point will be okay. And now that makes it much easier to see. Now the reason that they make it so small though is because obviously you can't fit with a split view all of your code in this small of a space. So that's why that's there. Up here, see this box? This is your title. Remember your title tags. Okay? That's right here. So you could type it in here in the code. You can type your title up here as long as you have a title. Now you might notice that up here there's a little asterisk at the end of my file name. That means that the file has some change that has been applied to it and we have not saved it. So obviously we can go to the File menu and choose Save. We also have the keyboard shortcut of Command S. And if you're going to actually preview it in the browser, you have to save it first. If you don't, Dreamweaver will prompt you. Here is the ability to preview in the different browsers. And so I'm choosing Chrome, and here is what pops up right now.